What if that same great flame that birthed the Overwatch League was relit and brought back to us from the dead? I present to you the revamped Overwatch League, or my revamped Overwatch League, I mean, because that's what this is, okay? A lot of new players don't really know that much about the Overwatch League, especially the players that joined in Overwatch 2. The Overwatch League was very important to the players, commentators, but most of all, the fans, okay? The Overwatch League was Overwatch's second highest level of esports play, the highest being the World Cup. Many of you might not know, but it's believed, speculated, that the Overwatch League won't be returning this year for 2024, meaning the last season is probably the last of the original Overwatch League. Now, they did mention that they're not closed off to the idea of bringing their esports scene back, but they don't want to bring it back in the same way that it was before. So the old structure of the Overwatch League is gone. It's dead. On top of this, as the icing and the cherry on the bread, or the saying, whatever it is, a lot of the current teams in the Overwatch League, or current teams, were given the choice to opt in or opt out for the next year of Overwatch League. And considering the current viewer basis of the Overwatch League, dropping each and every year, a lot of the teams decided that it would be in their best financial interest as a company to opt out and not perform in the next year of Overwatch League. You have organizations right now like the Houston Outlaws that have become just an esports and gaming company, I guess, if you want to call it that. An organization is the word. I don't know if there are any other teams that have decided to go down that route as well. In all honesty, I don't know what the other teams are doing, right? I have no idea. But, and there is a but to this, the fans that would watch the Overwatch League are very, very dedicated to it. And I think that Overwatch League as an organization within itself can probably play on that and come out with something for the 2024 season that is going to keep people interested, follow a very similar format, whether it's not investing as much budget into it, so it still is cost effective for them. Now, this is where clown.er's revamped Overwatch League comes in, right? Let me break it down. clown.er's revamped Overwatch League consists of 20 new teams, okay, all across the globe. One of the old issues, if you want to even call it that, with the old Overwatch League system was that the 20 teams that we had were from a lot of the same places, and there were a lot of countries or people from countries that would follow the Overwatch League without a team that really represented them. Obviously, with 20 teams, you can only cover so much area, right? But I'm going to pull up two maps for you here. This is the diversity of the old Overwatch League teams. As you see, they're spread out, but it could be better, right? Here's mine. Now take a look. Those dots are a little more spread out, all right, like Nutella, all across this map. You see that and you think, mumps, measles, get away, right? Spots everywhere. But this is a good thing, I promise. It's good. It's better that there's spots everywhere. Obviously, you do need to populate the teams in the more densely watching areas. For example, you've got teams in China, Korea, and Japan, right? They're three of the top watching areas, probably. You also have 4 teams from the States. Or I think it's 4 teams that I've got here for the States, which is crazy. That's a lot, right? But in the old Overwatch League, there was also a large viewing base from Oceania. So we got the New Zealand team, the Middle Eastern viewers. There was a lot of them. So we've got 2 teams for that. I'm going to have the teams and graphics I've made playing in the background as I'm talking, okay? I hope that's all right that I keep rambling. I think with this spread of teams, though, you have a much more diverse spread of different people that watch it that can get involved with their own country. Now, in terms of actually making the Overwatch League more cost-effective, more viable, there are 2 options for this. One, we need a benefactor for it, okay? So if there's any rich people watching this video, option number 2, since that first one isn't very likely, you pull in the money from the merchandise, right? Here's an example. Okay, I'm going to stand up for this. Here's an example of the jerseys that they were doing toward the end, okay? Very high quality, very good stuff, right? What's the issue with this? A little too high quality for a jersey. Take a look at this material, okay? They had men scourging in deserts searching for this stuff. You take a look at the 2016 jerseys, or 2017, whenever it was, they did that shit right. They are made like kitchen cloths, and people still bought the fuck out of them. So, step 1, we go back to the kitchen cloth shirts, okay? The Overwatch League in the old days. I'll put a few examples of that up on screen of the new teams. There you are. There's some graphics for you. I hope you love it. Step number 2. You sell the shit out of skins in-game. So the way that they did the Overwatch League skins is that you watch it and you earn currency, which is great. But a lot of people will also just buy the full skins with their own money. So that's where a lot of their money is going to come in. I do also feel they did it really right toward the end of the very last season of, I think 2023 it was, right? They made some special Overwatch League skins, which were like legendaries, but colored like the teams, which I thought was absolutely incredible. That's really, really cool. They could definitely do stuff like that for real coins if they wanted to, and people would buy it. People would absolutely buy it. So that's part of the revenue sorted. Step 3, I don't know if it would be more viable for them to host it only online or do real life events, but if it works out cheaper for them and if they can get enough tickets, then definitely they should do the real life events, do the full stage like they used to do the live performances on stage, get the full stage booked if they can. And they're going to make a boatload of profit on that. Plus, if they're able to do the live events and if that's more viable for them, they sell a load more merchandise that way as well. I do think that it needs something new, definitely, to get people watching it again. If it's the same sort of process as the old Overwatch League, as much as that would be enjoyable for us veterans to watch again, right? And it would relive the moment with all new teams and new everything. I think that it would get stale for sure. I think they do need to spice it up somehow. Add some fun rules, make some fun game modes for it maybe. Make the metas around the Overwatch League instead of around the bronze players, maybe. Blizzard, listen up. At least for the duration while Overwatch League is on, they could do that. And then they could go back to balancing it around the bronze players like they usually do, right? These are just my suggestions. I'm sure you guys can come up with some very, very fun stuff in the comments as well. But I do think that we're missing it. And I do think that we need it back. We need it back. So let's make it happen. I've been clown.er. That's my revamped Overwatch League. What would yours look like? Maybe comment some teams down below, or whatever you like. And I'll have a look at it, I'll respond to it, I'll give it a thumbs up, and a little heart with the clown.er logo next to it, just to ensure you know I'm listening, and I'm rambling, and I'm trying to extend the duration of this video.